This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Well. Is that not the truth or what? It does not matter who the host is. Anyways, today's Friday, May the 28th of 2021, day 148th of the year, and only 217 days remaining. Now, this will be the interesting episode because I will tell you, I have spoken to more and more people that they are out of town. They have left. They're not doing anything, blah, 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 blah. You know, the typical stuff. You're getting the hell out of there because it's the extended weekend, so hopefully you're hanging out with us. If not, hey, that's cool too, because you're probably out there having all kinds of fun doing the things that you do first thing in this lovely morning. Anyways, we are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse of Safety FM and hanging out with those people that we hang out with from time to time.
You're being infiltrated. Radio Big.
Okay, Radio Big is in the house hanging out with us first thing in the morning here. So there you go. A lot of stuff real quick. So we're going to get through this and talk about some things that are going on inside of our world, talking about the world of safety, talking about the world of everything. Because we talk about the news, we talk about safety, we blend it all together. If you're new to the show, this is how it works. You talk, I talk, we all interact. We have an open phone line at 866-930-SFM1. That's 866-930-SFM1. I do pay attention from time to time on what's going on with the phone line, so I will take the calls from time to time. It's probably easier sometimes to text, just throwing that out there for information purposes, but that's 866-930-SFM1. It is Freeform Friday, so it can go anywhere, talk about anything, do a little bit of anything, so let's go from there. So I have to tell you, the movies that are trending over the weekend for the video on demand services are a little light this weekend. I guess they don't plan a lot of people to be at home, so let's talk about those right away. New to Hulu is Plan B, The Vigil, and then new to Netflix, Doggone Trouble, and then new to HBO Max is the Friends Reunion. I have to tell you, I had somebody send me pictures of it last night because we had a conversation about a week ago or so about that I really didn't care too much for Friends. Don't hold it against me. I mean, not a show that I hung out and watched. I mean, I'm familiar of what the show is, but not something that I watched that I could tell you anything of any significance. And I don't really feel that anybody who watched the show could tell you anything of any significance. Okay, just joking on that last part. I don't know. The show was not for me. I'll just put it to you that way. Anyway, so let's start talking about some things that are going on with our friends at Feature Story News. We're going to go around the world and start talking about that stuff because it's always important to hear what is going on with our friends at Feature Story of News. By the way, great part about this, we are a radio show that you can stream on radiobig.fm or on safetyfm.com, or we also become a podcast at some point. So here's the thing. If you're not taking a listen now, or if you are taking a listen now and you need to bail, hey, you can carry us with you, depending on what's going on. And that ain't no joke, baby. So let's continue talking with Feature Story News right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. The German government's apologised to the people of Namibia for historical crimes committed during colonial rule. Berlin's admitted its troops committed genocide during the early 20th century and has promised financial acts of reconciliation in honour of the victims. From Berlin, FSN's Trent Murray.
The German government has admitted its country committed genocide in Namibia during its colonial-era rule in the African nation. Foreign Minister Heiko Maas said that German troops had caused immeasurable suffering to the Herero and Nama people in the region that is now considered modern-day Namibia. The admission follows 6 years' worth of formal discussions between Germany and Namibia, a process aimed at exposing atrocities that occurred between 1904 and 1908, when Berlin controlled the region. Trent Murray, Berlin.
Russia's blocked 2 European airlines from entering the country because they were planning to avoid Belarus airspace. EU leaders have urged European carriers to fly alternative routes after a Ryanair plane was forced to land in Minsk last weekend. India's recorded its lowest number of daily COVID infections in 44 days at 186,000. It takes the country's total caseload to over 27.5 million. But some reports suggest under-reporting of COVID-19 and a lack of testing could explain the dip in daily numbers. Sriyoshi Mukherjee has more.
The Indian government dismissed a New York Times report on India's COVID numbers, calling it baseless and not backed by any evidence. The article claims that the numbers published by the government grossly understate the true scale of the pandemic. India's Ministry of Health responded by saying the report is false and based on distorted estimates. The government says it has been focused on reporting all the cases and deaths in a transparent manner from the beginning. While the number of infections in India are indicating a dip, the federal government has directed state administrations to continue with the ongoing COVID restrictions till the end of June. Sriyoshi Mukherjee, New Delhi.
The UK's next planned easing of COVID-19 lockdown restrictions on June the 21st can't be guaranteed, according to government ministers. Although overall case rates remain low, a variant first discovered in India has started to spread quickly in parts of the country. Almost all restrictions on the economy in England are due to be lifted on June the 21st. 45% of adults have received both doses of a vaccine, and data suggests the jabs are working well against the India variant. Cabinet Minister Kwasi Kwarteng says he's still optimistic the next easing will go ahead as planned.
We've got a vaccine rollout, people are taking that, we've reopened bits of the economy, and I'm really positively hopeful that we can reopen on the 21st of June.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today at the upcoming report by America's Director of National Intelligence on unidentified aerial phenomena. There is a huge amount of excitement about it, coming as it does after the release of Pentagon videos that appear to show, in layman's terms, UFOs, unexplained objects in the sky that move at speeds that cannot be explained by current known technology.
We never went into our investigations with a conclusion-led mindset. It was very data-led.
Nick Pope ran a now-defunct UFO investigation unit at Britain's Ministry of Defence in the 1990s.
You know, we were in the situation where literally only one of these reports has to be something, let's just say it, extraterrestrial, and we're in game-changing territory. I don't know that we're quite there yet. I mean, I don't think the extraterrestrial hypothesis has been ruled out. We didn't rule it out. The US government doesn't seem to be ruling it out now, but neither have we proved it definitively. And that's why I hope that this upcoming report from the Director of National Intelligence to Congress is going to deliver some answers.
And that report is going to be published as early as next month. Some pretty heavyweight members of the US Congress say they're eager to read it and determine whether there is any kind of national security threat out there.
And to recap the top stories, the German government's apologised to the people of Namibia for historical crimes committed during colonial rule. Russia's blocked 2 European airlines from entering the country because they were planning to avoid Belarus airspace. India's recorded its lowest number of daily COVID-19 infections in 44 days. And UK government ministers say the next planned easing of COVID lockdown restrictions on June the 21st can't be guaranteed. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In 96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in 09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Support for Safety FM is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their fourth-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SAFETY at manscaped.com. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and I'm blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and the detail on the 4.0 are next level. You know, more times of actually handling blades and becoming a bloody mess, if you know what I'm saying there. Manscaped engineered the ultimate growing and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and incredible, comfortable grooming experience. The fourth-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. This upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on-off switch that can engage a travel lock. It also gives the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for some precise shave. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim throughout additional guards, lengths with sizes 1 through 4. Did I mention that it's wireless charging? Yeah, not a joke here. The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth. It's time to get your own ball hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice, smooth boys. Get 20% off and free shipping with code SAFETY at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with code SAFETY at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code SAFETY. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves only on Safety FM.
Okay, so there you go. A lot of stuff going on. So are you looking forward, I guess the question would be, to this potential information about UFOs. I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting one for sure as we are talking. It is 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out. So here you go. Here's the uplifting and edifying message for the day. So let's talk about this real quick. Have you heard about Cache Quest? Yeah. Cache, a 2-year-old from Los Angeles, is the youngest member of the American Mensa, a group of highly intelligent people who have scored in the top 2% of the general population on a standard intelligence test. While most toddlers can recite some numbers by the time that they are 2, Cache is able to count to 100, knows more than 50 signs in sign language. She can also point out all 50 states by their shape and location. Cache has an IQ of 146, far above the average American IQ of 98. American Mensa has more than 50,000 members ranging from the ages of 2 to 102. Yeah, how does that make you feel? So hold on, a 2-year-old that could do this. I don't even think I could name all 50 states by shape alone by seeing them. That's not a joke there. I'm being very honest on that one.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Amazon has halted construction on a facility in Windsor, Connecticut after another alleged noose was found in a building. Workers found the red rope with the noose tied at the end and tangled by electric cables. Windsor's police chief Donald Mellison stated at a press conference this week. The site just reopened on Monday after shutting down last week over a similar incident. The latest noose was the 8th one to be found in the building site. Amazon Construction Company are offering a $100,000 reward for any information that leads to whomever left the noose on the site. $100,000. Like, what the freak is up with the noose thing? I mean, I just don't get it. Very confusing when people start doing some odd shit like that. That's something to talk about. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things. As of Thursday, over 290.7 million COVID vaccines have been administered nationwide. Over 132.7 million Americans have been fully vaccinated, while more than 165.7 million have received at least one dose, according to the CDC. So there you go. Some things to think about there as we are talking about that. So I don't know. Have the incentives been enough for people not to wear a mask and all that kind of fun stuff? Have you considered getting the vaccine, or are you already fully vaccinated? And if so, what do you think? Do you like it? How does it make you feel? Are things better? Has life been better for you? We know all that kind of fun stuff that you would normally talk about with anybody who's getting the vaccine. So there you go. Some stuff to think about. Anyways, let's get Johnny Smalls inside of here and let him tell us what's going on inside of the market.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Friday, May 28th, 2021. All eyes will be on the personal income and spending data today. The data includes the FOMC's favored measure of consumer inflation, and the data could be hot. If the market does not like what it sees, the index could be in for a big decline, despite the Fed's assurances inflation is under control. The odd thing about Friday's data is weaker than expected data could be just as bad for the market. If the Fed sees the need to keep adding stimulus to the economy, it will only make the next stock market correction worse. Next week will be no easy week for the market either, even with the Memorial Day holiday. The Q1 earnings season is quickly winding down, but there is a raft of economic data at hand. The market-moving reports include the ISM indexes, the Fed's Beige Book, and the all-important monthly employment data. Last month's NFP data was a big miss, so there's very high expectations for large numbers this time around. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, so here you go. Investors turned in mixed trading session on Thursday as the Dow gained about 141 points. The S&P added about 4 points, and the NASDAQ lost almost 2 points. Initial jobless claims were about 406,000 last week, which beats the analyst's expectation of 425,000. The number of first claimants is the lowest number since the entire virus situation started. Shares of Dollar Tree dipped about 8% after saying increasing freight costs would reduce profits this year. Hold on. How can you reduce profits? You're the dollar store. Yeah, is it Dollar Tree like $1 for everything? Yeah, I think it is. I mean, let's just go from that. So there you go. I mean, some interesting stuff to talk about. I don't know. I don't know. how do you handle some of this stuff is always the intriguing portion of the whole thing. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of the world real quick. So a new study shows that people working from home for the last year certainly aren't working as much as they said they were. While on the clock, respondents were up to a variety of alternative activities as reported by Forbes. Now, listen, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just going to share with you what it says. 42% have been on a date. 41% have had sex. Almost half, they said they had an alcoholic drink. About 60% have been taking a nap. An overwhelming 77% say that they were shopping online while on the clock at least once. I mean, but is that new to last year? Any of this so far? I think this is all common practice. Hey, don't take it the wrong way. Around 50% of respondents have worked for another company while on the clock for their employer. 2 in 5, 44% have been reprimanded at least once for getting off task, and 39% have been let go from their jobs for doing non-work related activities. Despite 76% of respondents spending more than 4 hours each day focused on work, 40% of participants said they spend about 4 or more hours away from their computers. So, let's see. So people say that they work just fine from home, and employers need to adapt to this brave new reality of office home work hybrid. They're lying. They're stealing wages from their employers. Well, that's bullshit. I will call that BS. I know people that work 12 to 16 hours a day from home, and they're just spending more time because of the work. And this is based on one particular survey done by Forbes. Now, let's be realistic. This is not everybody in the whole freaking country. And I'm going to tell you something. You can slack off at work as much as you can slack off at home, depending on how you look at it. It's committed to actually doing the work, which is the important part. You know, I've always been a big proponent of actually getting the work done, opposed to how many hours did you spend at your desk today? Really? That's the important part? How many hours did you spend at your desk? I know of people that have been on dates during lunchtime. I know of people that have had sex during work. So it's shit. I know of more relationships that have started that way. I know of people drinking on the job. The nap thing, I mean, we could go through this whole list and say not much of a changeo there, mi amigo. So just some stuff to think about. So just think about that as we are talking here. This lovely, fantastic Friday morning as we are 23 minutes past the top of the hour.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, the first set of winner of Ohio's $1 million COVID vaccine drawing has been announced. Are you ready? Abigail Bunjinski won $1 million after getting vaccinated, and Joseph Costello, 14, earned a college scholarship for getting his shot. There are still 4 more weeks of the sweepstakes. The next drawing will take place on Memorial Day. That's Monday. Hold on. The government's open on Monday? Just asking the question. So there you go. So you see, some people are doing some very interesting things. So are they taxing them full task there? I'm just asking the question. And so $1 million potentially to enter into this this lottery for getting a vaccine. I don't know. What do you think about this? Is this something that you'd be willing to do?
Duh.
I'm just asking the question because I think it's pretty interesting on something that Ohio is considering. Of course, that's the land that I was born in, so not too shocked there by the weird stuff they do in that section.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's talk about this. The victims of the San Jose rail yard shooting have been identified, ranging in the ages of 29 to 63. They are Paul Mejia, Tarup Sign. Do we want to read all these names? Let's not go through the names. So the victims were between 29 to 63. According this is according to Santa Clara County Coroner Office. All 9 were fatally shot by former employee, 57-year-old, who turned the gun on himself Wednesday morning. The motive remains unknown. Through the report of yesterday, said that Cassidy had made threats in the past about numerous co-workers. So I don't know. I take a look into this, and I know we talk about run, hide, fight, and all that other interesting stuff. But at this particular portion, if somebody's making threats to your other employees, team members, and so on, what the hell's being done? And I know we can talk about this until we're blue in the face right now, post-event, because that's easy to do. But why wasn't anything done prior? I mean, there has to be telltale signs of the things that are going on in the conversations that are being had. I mean, if they're saying, hey, somebody said something about this, that he had made threats, was it investigated? I would like to know that answer. And then what is the San Jose rail yard going to be looking at going forward? Because you know that they're going to come down with something in regards of this. It's just the way that it goes. I would love to say otherwise, but I would be lying and you would be lying, knowing that the truth is going to happen in that particular regards. Let's continue talking a little bit more. A simple thumb test can help indicate whether a person may be harboring an aortic aneurysm. The self-conducted test, holding up one hand and signaling someone at the top to stop, then flex the thumb part responsible across the palm. If the thumb crosses beyond the far edge of the palm, the person may be hiding an aneurysm. What? According to experts of the Aortic Institute at Yale New Haven Hospital, has being able to stretch the thumb in a way is an indication that patients' long bones are excessive and their joints are lax, which are possible signs of connective tissue disease throughout the body, including the aorta. The finding, which drew results from 305 patients who underwent heart surgery, were published last week in the American Journal of Cardiology. It should be noted that experts stress that not everyone who tests positive for an aneurysm carrier. Also, a negative thumb test does not exclude an aneurysm either. Worth noting, an aortic aneurysm were the cause of over 9,000 deaths in 2018, according to the CDC. How the hell did we even get into this? I want to know.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show. I don't know why our host has a face for radio. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, the number of Americans seeking new unemployment benefits dropped last week. A new pandemic low. Initial worker filings for jobless claims reached about 406,000 last week, down from the 444,000 from the prior week, according to the Labor Department. Economists expect 425,000 new jobless claims. Despite the decline, nearly 16 million Americans are still on some sort of government assistance. So there you go. Some things to think about. So there you go. A Japanese woman has been arrested after asking police officers what to do about her son's rotting corpse. Toskiski Urbi, 76, called police to her apartment, which she shared with her son. When officers arrived, they discovered the 53-year-old Kenjing decaying remains. His body was lying on a futon and appeared that he had suffered multiple cuts to his neck. A cause of death is pending autopsy. The mother was arrested on suspicion of violating law prohibiting a person from damaging, abandoning, or possessing a corpse. There has to be a law for that? God, how weird is this stuff?
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R.
Oh, so let's talk about this real quick. So are you familiar with Millie Vanilli? Yeah, Millie Vanilli, you know, the people that were like singing Blame It on the Rain and to blame it on the skies. You know, they sang all that stuff. So Millie Vanilli was a band. It was a duo. They came out. They used to do some singing, some dancing. Very popular. I think it was early 90s that they were super popular. Maybe late 80s, early 90s. But they were probably one of the first groups to do the lip syncing thing, where they were lip syncing, you know, how they do the vocal tracks at a lot of concerts nowadays. But these people did that. But unfortunately, their lip syncing was all false because what ended up taking place was somebody else was actually singing the music. They were just pretending like they were the singers, but they never were. They actually did win a Grammy or two. So that should tell you something about the Grammys right away. So the other portion to think about is that one of the original singers has actually died. Not the pretenders, but the actual singer. John Davis, one of the real singers behind the stage act Millie Vanilli, has died. He passed away earlier this week from coronavirus-related causes. His daughter wrote on Facebook, he was 66. Now, I have to tell you, Millie Vanilli might not have been the best music on the planet, but hey, they could excite a crowd, that's for sure. It's interesting not knowing at the time on how much they were going to actually have an impact on how singers sing today, even though, you know, they're singing their own music, heavily produced music, but that's the way that it goes. The other portion to think about as we are talking about this is this. The only reason they got caught was because they had a track that skipped at an event that they were at. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube if you're so inclined to find out more information about that. That's for sure.
Rated R Safety Show. Sarcastic? Never.
So I have to tell you, there's really not going to be a main story, and I kind of figured that today we wouldn't have too much interaction in the box, and that's okay. Those things do happen. I know people get busy. People have things going on, especially I expected a lot of people going out of town today, and Fridays is Fridays. You know how it is. We sometimes call it F off Friday, but whatever you want to call it. But I want to talk about this because it is an important subject, and if you hung out with the Mini this morning, you'll definitely notate that we did talk about it there, and I want to talk about it here as well. And so let's talk about this organization that likes to help people, which is known as the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, known as RAINN. That's RAINN. So let me tell you about them. They have all kinds of resources that are available on their website about sexual abuse, sexual predators, safety and prevention, and what are the tail signs of when people have been abused sexually, and what resources are available to be able to assist. Now, if you do go to their website, it is RAINN, RAINN.org. That's RAINN.org. Or you can call their phone number at 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-HOPE or 1-800-656-4673. They also have a live chat that's available on their website for you to have those discussions. Here's the thing. This is a bigger problem than what most people think. So this is the stuff that we need to start talking about. People are sexually assaulted all the time. And the interesting part about this is that people don't want to talk about it. And we need to make a lot of these conversations so common in regards of actually being able to stop the actions that are occurring. RAINN, as we are talking about, is the nation's largest anti-sex violence organization. RAINN created and operates the National Sexual Assault Hotline that we just discussed. That was the 1-800-656-HOPE, or you can go to online.rainn.org, or that you can also even go to rainn.org. Now, keep in mind that that's RAINN with two N's, in partnership with more than 1,000 sexual assault service providers across the country, and operates the DoD Safe Helpline for the Department of Defense. Whoever wrote that script needs some help. RAINN also carries out programs to prevent sexual violence, help survivors, and ensure the perpetrators are brought to justice. So I want you to be familiar with this because I think it's such an important conversation. We're still going to continue to talk about mental health, but I need to tell you that we need to talk about this as well. In the last 26 years, RAINN has helped over 3.5 million survivors and their loved ones. Think about that. 3.5 million people in 26 years. This thing about people being sexually assaulted happens all the time, but the shame that comes with it, people want to put it underneath the rug. You know, that's a saying that people say. But I'm saying this because I think it's important that we should be able to make this conversation common where we can stop this. We have to push forward with this information. I know some people are not going to like us talking about this, but that's okay because we're going to talk about the things that we deem important. And always at all times, the conversation about sexual assault needs to be had. That's for sure. Anyways, just letting you know my perspective on how things should go.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star, and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open. Don't speak with your mouth full. Keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
So for years, I have been telling you how I sleep so miserably at night, but that has all changed as of recent, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you about my friends at Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep has a sleep quiz that takes just about 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Why should you buy a mattress made for someone else? With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you will know will be perfect for the way you sleep. Everybody is unique, and Helix knows that. So they have several different mattress models to choose from. They have a soft, medium, and firm mattress. Mattress is great for cooling you down if you sleep hot. And even at Helix Plus mattresses for plus-size sleepers. I took the Helix quiz, and I was matched with the Helix Midnight Luxe mattress because I wanted something that felt soft, and I sleep on my side. It was such a different approach and exactly on how I was able to sleep. I love it. It's a huge upgrade from what I had before, that's for sure. The kids love it, even though they shouldn't be jumping on my bed, but that's a whole other story. And my wife loves it, which is important. So if you're looking for a mattress, you just take the quiz. You order the mattress, and you're matched to it. And the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't even need to go to the mattress store again. Helix is awesome, but you don't need my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired magazine. Just go to helixsleep.com/safety. That's helixsleep.com/safety. There, take the 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you up with a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try the mattress for 100 nights, risk-free. They'll even pick it up if you don't love it, but you will. Helix is offering up to $200 off of all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/safety. That's helixsleep.com/safety for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. Don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
Must be hell, no more cookies in this jar. Did I take it too far? Now I dwell in the sand like a fish on land.
Okay, 20 minutes past, or wow, 20 minutes. 20 minutes left in the hour. Let's put it that way. Fish on Land, Blood Red Sun. This song's readily available on Spotify and iTunes. Yeah, so pretty good one there. There you go. Thanks for Blood Red Sun for allowing us to play this one here on the Rated R Safety Show. Deep down on the bottom of the well, seagrass was all I found. Yeah. There you go. Some interesting stuff as we go. So there you go. Interesting day so far. So you're getting ready for this lovely extended weekend. So there you go. I don't know if you are or not, but some things to think about. That's for sure. Anyways, let's give you some news of the weird because it is Friday. So let's start talking about some of that stuff. Always important. A 9-year-old boy was paid handsomely for his work washing the family SUV. He found about $5,000 cash inside of a Landon Melvin was cleaning the Chevy Suburban in Plainfield, Indiana, when he found an envelope under the floor mat that containing the money. The Melvins contacted the vehicle previous owner, a South Carolina family, who told them that they had driven the Suburban to Florida for a cruise in 2019 and had misplaced the envelope during the trip. They instead insisted that Landon keep $1,000 as a finder's fee as long as he promises not to get the police involved. What? Why don't you want to get the police involved? That's kind of a new weird one. A man has bought the entire soccer football team so he and his son can play official matches. 35-year-old entrepreneur Hishalua recently became the major shareholder of the Zaibo Koju Football Club, a team that is second division of China League. Once now, both Shalua and his 126 or 278-pound son are a part of the team, even though their skills aren't exactly up to par. And so far, the duo hasn't proven their worth, as Zibokua is the last in the league and just 1 point in 5 games. But their teammates aren't complaining now that they want to keep their jobs, or at least for the time being. So anyway, some stuff to think about there for sure. I don't know. I mean, hey, if some dude wants to buy the team, have his son be on the team, I guess that's his thing. I mean, nepotism never happens inside of places. Not at all. What are you talking about? No way, Jose. Couldn't believe that one.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, Canada is most likely the candidate to become the first cashless country in the world. A study by money.co.uk ranked countries based on contactless payment limits, the number of major e-wallet operators, and in the number of ATMs per 100,000 adults, the percentage of population with debit and credit cards. With a score of 79.1 out of 100, Canada was also named the world's most cashless economy right now. I've been cashless for years. Take that any way you want it. That's something to think about. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to be a cashless society? What's your gig? That's something to think about as we do talk here real quick. Anyways, let's continue about some other things going on. I don't feel like doing the swamp today. I just don't, so I'm not going to do it. See ya. No winner on Tuesday night Mega Million drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for a $22 million jackpot or a $15 million cash payout. No winner for Wednesday night's Powerball drawing. Saturday's drawing will be for $253 million jackpot or a $172.7 million cash payout. So a lot of stuff going on right there as you do take a listen to that. I don't know if you play, but hey, if you want to play the game, you can do so. It'll be fun. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about Netflix, because I didn't mention it earlier, but Netflix series Firefly Lane has been renewed for a second season. The show, based on the Kristen Hanna novel, stars Katherine Heigl and Sarah Charkle to be best friends who couldn't be more different. Season 1 debuted back in February. Good. I've never heard of it. Let's continue talking. I'm sure I'm not the target demo, so that's okay. So let's see. Usher hosted last night's iHeart Music Awards from the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles. Did you hear about this one? So let's talk about what happened and all that kind of fun stuff. I guess the winners are the following. Best song was The Weeknd, Blinding Lights. Female artist, Dua Lipa. Male artist, The Weeknd. Duo group, Dan and Shay. Collaboration, Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce for Savage. New pop artist, Doja Cat. Alternative rock song, 21 Pilots, Level of Concern. Alternative rock artist, 21 Pilots. New rock artist, Pofu, excuse me. Rock song, Foo Fighters, Shame, Shame. Rock artist, let's see, The Pretty Reckless. Country song, Maren Morris, The Bones. Country artist, Luke Combs, new country artist. Oh my God. Okay, the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I think I just wanted to mention Dua Lipa. Oh, best lyrics, fan voted, Harry Styles, Adore You, by the way. We'll throw that in there. And Social Star Award, fan favorite, Olivia Rodrigo. Best music video, fan favorite, or fan voted, BTS Dynamite. Fan Army, BTS Army for BTS. And then favorite music video choreography, BTS Song Sunk Duke. So there you go. Anyways, if you're looking for some new music coming out today, let's talk about some of those. We'll give you some of the releases. Bent Arcana, Moon Drenched. Black Meaty came out with a new album today. Blackberry Smoke, You Hear Georgia. DMX Exodus. KD Lang, Makeover, Keel, The Waves Part 1, and Moby with Reprise. So there you go, some stuff going on real quick. Hey, by the way, do you want me to give you the Friends reunion spoiler? Should I talk about this just to mess things up for some people? It came out yesterday, so really isn't a spoil. But Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer were almost a real-life couple. Yeah, I just said that to be a jerk. So let's continue talking about some other things that are not really so important. We'll talk about some birthdays that are going on right now and all that kind of fun stuff, because these are important. Anyways, Alec Benjamin turns 27. Seth Rollins turns 35. Michael Orr, 35. Colby Collette, 36. Callie Mulligan, 36. Jeb Robinson, 43. Jack Johnson, 43. Mark Rubio, 50. Kylie Minogue, 53. Gladys Knight, 77. Rudy Giuliani, 77. And Jerry West turns 83 today. If you need a Mexican martini to make over the weekend because of the long festive holiday and you're not driving, let's talk about this. You'll need 2 ounces of tequila, 1 to 2 ounces of lemon lime soda, 1 ounce of orange liqueur, 1 ounce of fresh squeezed lime juice, 1 ounce of fresh squeezed orange juice, a splash of olive juice, and pimento stuffed green olives for garnish. There you go. Some things to think about. Here's what I'm thinking about doing today. Should I talk about this? Should I not talk about this? Let's talk about some things that happened back on this day before I get to that. So let's go into let's talk about 2020. Because it does feel like a lifetime ago. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz declares a state of emergency in Minnesota as activists of the Minnesota National Guard after protests over the death of George Floyd. That happened back in 2020. It does seem a lot longer than that time frame if you really take a look at it. Something to think about for sure.
Some say I'm a street fighter, a renegade, a courtroom brawler. I'm a trial lawyer and I have a mission: to right wrongs, to level the playing field, to protect victims by doing what I do best: win in court. That's the DNA of Figer Law. Figer Law. I was born for this.
Yeah, Figer Law, 1-800-A-WINNER. Yes, that's the phone number, 1-800-A-WINNER, just in case if you wanted to know. That's Jeffrey Figer from Figer Law, blah, 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 blah. So there you go. Now you have the info. Do you want to hear the auto one? Let's hear the auto one. Let's do that one.
I've won most of the biggest cases in this state. And because of that, people think I'm out of reach for them. But the fact is that Figer Law takes on all kinds of cases, big and small. No one else tries more auto cases than us. We get results and no one pays until we win. Figer Law. I was born for this.
Okay, I won't do it again, but that's 1-800-A-WINNER. Hey, I like the music. I don't know why. I just do. Just kind of the way that things go from time to time. So there you go. Some stuff to think about as we are talking here. For sure. For sure. Da-da-da-da. So are you having some big plans for the weekend? I mean, let's talk about those. Should we talk about those for a moment or no? I just screwed up this website, by the way. Just wanted to throw that out there as I am trying to do double duty here. But let me tell you about this one because this is going to be the most important thing I tell you throughout the whole show. Let me tell you about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Know that you are not alone. Whether you have struggled with suicide or depression yourself or have lost a loved one to suicide, know that you are not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local community whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. You can call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-TALK or 1-800-273-8255 or text the word TALK to 741-741. I think that this is one of the most important things that you'll hear about. So if you are struggling with one of these things, make sure that you do give them a call before you do anything else. Anyways, before we get too far here, let me get Johnny Smalls in here once again, and let's talk about the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Today's quote has been submitted by Heather. Gurbash Chahal said, "If you genuinely want something, don't wait for it. Teach yourself to be impatient." Thanks, Heather. This quote actually made me smile. I've not heard it before, but I love the image it painted in my mind. I think I need to teach myself to be more impatient. I've done that really well in traffic. Not a fan of waiting, but I do wait for other things, sometimes maybe too long. I remember working on some ideas for a client a while back. They weren't quite ready, but by the time I came back in, they were already working with someone else. I'm going to think of how I could have done that differently. Maybe I need to teach myself to be more impatient. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Well, thank you very much for that one. It is 52 minutes past the top of the hour, so let's get us moving and grooving and all that kind of other fun stuff that we would talk about for sure as we are moving this morning. So anyways, I missed it last week, that's for sure, and of course I wasn't here the week before, but it is time. It is time once again to do what we do on a Friday. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to bring up a 30-second clock, block everything out so we can start focusing on what's important. So I want you to, before you get into this long extended weekend, to let everything go, let everything out and about, scream, shout, let all your frustration out for the week so we can get you moving and grooving into this long extended weekend. So I'm going to start this clock in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so that's time. Hopefully you got everything out. You're good to move and groove and all that other kind of fun stuff as we are talking here this lovely morning, 54 minutes past the top of the hour, and doing the stuff that we do. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other stuff. Let me give you some whack facts this morning real quick. The standard way for Russians to answer the telephone is, "I'm listening." Mercury thermometers are useless in Antarctica because it is so cold that mercury freezes. Besides black and yellow, beasts can also be green and blue. Australia's tallest mountain, Mount Korsiski, is the largest city in Sydney and are both named for men who never visited Australia. Huh, interesting. The Comic Sans font created in 1954 by Batman and Watchmen comic books. A plastic knife cuts brownies more smoothly than a metal one. So there you go. Some stuff to think about. Here you go. Here, what do we got here? Good morning. You gave us a lot to consider next week. Safety meetings and conversation, especially with the subject of workplace violence. Yeah, some stuff to think about. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. So let's continue talking. Let's continue talking about. I don't know. Should we do small? Let's do this. We'll do this. I know it's not deserved in this show, meaning that it's not something we should talk about, but something to get your mind off the normal violence and other stuff that we talk about. But BS bad names for romance novels. Here's some for you. From Here to Paternity, Gone with the Next Door Neighbor, You've Got Mail, Order Bride, The MILF of the Shelf, A Christmas Love Story, Burning Sensation, Keep the Change, and the Other Date Night Whispers. For God's sake, just rip his shirt off and spare us the 180 pages of butt cheekiness, turd prose leading up to the deed. So there you go, some stuff to think about. Where the hell does this stuff even come from? Who even knows anymore?
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's give you some information about the world of BS real quick. A survey shows that men that take more selfies than women. The survey was conducted by carefully polling men and women around the world and then completely ignoring the Kardashian family. Shanghai has been named the most expensive city in the world. The most expensive city, of course, is not to be confused with the world's most loaded city, whether Gary Busey is located right now. A report that has been linked to a binge-watching television to depression and loneliness, at least according to the fascinating article I read sitting through the 18th straight hour of old Arrested Development episode and tearfully microwaving my Salisbury steak for one. A large chunk of ice fell from the sky through a Florida home's roof, and authorities have no clue where it came from. Sadly, that's at least strange thing that happened in Florida that day. 14% of men have casual sex to get over a breakup. The remaining 86% broke up because they were having casual sex. So there you go. It is 57 minutes past the top of the hour. Let me give you a couple things before we get into the weekend here. So here you go. If you need a phone starter for the day, the weekend is almost here. Where's your happy place? If you need a random joke for today, try this one. The weekend is here. Sleep until you're hungry. Then eat until you're sleepy. If you need a question for the water cooler, try this one. Studies show that most people remember this more vividly than their first kiss. What is it? Not that. It's your first car. What were you thinking? Geez, that got interesting quick. In regards of what you were thinking there. Anyways, you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show on RadioBig.fm and on SafetyFM.com. Of course, also on the streaming apps and on course the multiple places where we actually stream, but also on the radio station aspect as well. So here's the thing. Thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM, and that is the listener, because without you, we can't do what we do. So thank you for always coming and making this a place of destination. I'm going to let you know I'm going to go out and hang out at the top of the hour on RadioBig.fm exclusively. If you want to come out and hang out real quick, doing some things there as we're hanging out this morning. I will not be here on Monday. I want to make sure that I'm very specific on that. I will be going away. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm actually locked up in 2 classes that day. If we're really talking about what's legitimately going on. So I got 2 classes that I'm doing that day. So I won't be here. Foreign classes, so don't worry about it. That's why the Memorial Day is not celebrated. So I won't be here on Monday, but I will be back on Tuesday. So let's hang out on then if you don't come out to Radio Big. I do jump in on Radio Big throughout the weekends from time to time, so you can come in, hang out with us. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Remain safe during this long Memorial Day weekend. And if you're going to drink, make sure that you don't drive. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya. Mean it. Goodbye. Have a great weekend if you're not coming over to Radio Big.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.